reality doesn't work like that because we all are very unique beings. I like that actually. Now it's all coming back. Yeah, it's a nice space as well for them to be able to release because you've got quite a lot of energy controllers and healers in there.
Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis and I am joined by one of my beautiful soul sisters, Wendy Smith today, who I am excited to say and to announce publicly is going to be one of our speakers at Soul School next weekend on the 16th and 17th of March. Wendy Smith, what have you been up to?
What have you been up to? Is more the question.
We're not here to talk about me, my darling girl.
We've missed you. What have I been up to, Luce? Well, I don't know. I've been, as I said to you, I've had food poisoning for the last 5 days, or I'm recovering from it. So it's been an interesting week of literally having to go and do work whilst telling the body, look, just get over this. You can sort it out. We don't have time to be ill. Just wait till after 5 o'clock, and then you can be ill for a few hours before we start again.
Please share with people how you got food poisoning, though.
Oh, that's the most ridiculous story. So anybody out there who's ever had dogs, you'll have things called poo bags. No, I didn't eat a bag of poo, right? But I'd gone away and I needed to take some dates with me and I couldn't find a little plastic tub to put my dates in. So I just grabbed one of these bags out of the cupboard and just thought, oh, I'll just chuck them in that, they'll be fine, not realising they're perfumed. And the dates had sat in them for 4 or 5 days. And on the way home Sunday, I was so hungry, I thought, oh, I'm just going to eat those dates. And when I was eating them, they tasted like an Airwick air freshener or something. So as I was eating them, my body's going, you shouldn't be eating these. But I'm thinking I'm hungry. Then 3 o'clock in the morning, yes, I'd toxified myself and the body wasn't happy. So I've had a whole week of, I've barely been able to eat a thing all week because I must have seriously, my diet's so clean normally, my body doesn't have any toxins in it. And yeah, it really didn't like the Airwick air freshener dates that I ate. About 20 of them as well. So it was my own fault. It's just random.
It's
random.
a funny story though. So because most people are like, oh, it was the chicken, and yours just isn't. So it's just a funny story to share. But you
air freshener dates. That's it. It's as simple as that. So don't put dates in perfumed bags and eat them 5 days later. Simple as. Lesson learned. Won't do it again.
Do that anyway, but you know.
I don't know. I don't know. They smelled disgusting and they were tasting horrible. And I was just really hungry and thought, I need food. Eat.
Oh, I love you, Wendy Smith.
I've learned a lesson.
For sure. So, Wendy, you obviously attended Soul School 3, but you weren't speaking at Soul School 3. At Soul School 2, you were speaking. And when I announced it in the Soul School group the other day, everybody was so excited that you are going to be one of the speakers. So, talk to me about Soul School from your perspective, obviously as a speaker and as an attendee last time, and then we can talk a little bit about what you're going to be talking about this time.
Okay. So I'll go attendee first. So it was nice to actually sit and absorb energy for a change, because normally, when you're speaking, you're paying attention to how you're going to link into things. Well, energetically paying attention. I don't really think about it. But it was really nice to sit and have the experiences, and more the fact be able to listen to other people, because a lot of conversation, it's why people used to tell stories. We passed everything down through the generations with stories, isn't it? When you listen to other people, it becomes part of your unconscious and you can learn from it. And it was just really lovely to hear genuine, honest, open people sharing experience and also having shifts, having those little enlightenment light bulb moments where something moved for them and then you could see they were going to go away in a different space. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I just think that's lovely. And whatever I do, because I work in self-awareness, like today running workshops for SEND parents, it's just the information I imparted allowed them, you could see the light bulbs going off. And I now know that when they go away, they've got things that they can share and improve their environment with. And that's it, isn't it? Surely that's it about life for all of us, just in helping share our knowledge, share our love, share our energy to improve, so everybody else can improve and grow. Yeah, I think that's what I like about it as an attendee.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So with regards to speaking, obviously what you just said, when you're there as a speaker, like you're listening and you're paying attention as to how you can lead the conversation and that you are going to be taking it down. Like what does it feel like to be a speaker at something like this?
Having done a sort of me and you are cut from the same cloth when it comes to speaking. So neither of us prep anything whatsoever. It's like an energetic thing, isn't it? So you'll give me a subject matter and a time limit. And then I sit and, again, it's more absorbing the energies of the people on the stage, the energies of the people around me. And then I just trust that when I go up and stand there, everything that's meant to be delivered to those people in that environment will come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting being, I don't get nervous. I don't know about you. I don't have nerves. I prep beforehand. I get mildly excited. And I just, as a speaker, I just love sharing information.
Yeah, it's
I love seeing people's faces in the crowd when you see something and you know that's had an impact over there and that's helped that one over there, and you know that one's going to want a conversation with me later and we can do some shifting over there. So yeah, from a speaking perspective, I suppose it's all about energy, isn't it, Luce? Really, it's just I feel the energy. I know the vibe of the day because I read off of yours, and then I'll just sort of go up and you give me my subject, my time, open mouth, and just let the universe do its thing through me. I feel like I'm a conduit. I've got years of, like, over 20 years learning in sort of self-awareness, neurodevelopment, you know, personal development, language, communication, conflict management, PTSD, trauma. So, you know, all of these things I've got, and I've obviously got a lifetime of being alive so far. So it's I just feel that I channel though.
Yeah.
I have all this information, but when I open my mouth, something gets channeled through me. I never know what I've spoken about. Yeah. I honestly don't. I've watched a couple of my talks back and thought, wow, I didn't even know I knew that.
Have you ever watched your talk back and gone, shit, I'm really good at this?
You know what? Nowadays,
sometimes I'm like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, nowadays I do. Someone videoed me one. I was doing a talk at a conference a couple of weeks ago, and someone said, "Would you like me to video?" Because I never video. You know me, I never video anything. I just rock up, do my job, go home, and people go, "Have you got a video of that?" No. And this guy videoed it, and I thought, I'm going to watch this back just because I've got no idea. I was speaking about mental health in the workplace, and I've got no idea what I was talking about because my PowerPoint only had pictures on it. So it was the funniest thing. And then at the end of it, I was chuckling. I was laughing at myself all the way through, thinking she's quite funny. She is, you know. You don't. People always say to me, "You're eloquent and humorous." I go, "Am I?" You know, my mum always says to me, "I don't cross my T's properly when I speak." But yeah. So it is quite funny watching yourself back and you go, "Actually, you're not bad at that, are you? Really? Yeah. I think you might be born to do that type of thing. Do more of it."
Yeah, go out there and fly some more, which I'm really excited that you are coming to Soul School 4 in Bristol. And so what are you going to be talking about at Soul School 4, my love?
I've got no idea. You've not given me a subject matter yet.
She did some time back.
I think it was about I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you'll remind me. But I'm sure it was about feminine and masculine. So it's you want to cover a lot of the divine masculine as well, don't you? And feminine. So there's going to be a conversation coming out of me based around those subjects and what the day holds. A little bit more prompting from Lucy. But I'm pretty sure I got a bit lost.
I'll give you the reminders, babe.
Yeah, give me a reminder. I've got a bit lost in life due to mum and dad obviously have been, so that's what I've been doing. Dad was really ill, wasn't he, all over Christmas?
Yeah.
And we thought we were going to lose him. And then mum went down. So dad went down and then mum went down. They're both up again now. Good. But my head has been like,
no, I know. And in all fairness, I think I gave you these subjects about 7 weeks ago before I left to go around the world. So, you know,
it was a while ago.
I'm not going to judge you for it, mate.
I'm glad. And I apologise to anyone watching who's going, "Oh, what subjects are Wendy get?" Wendy doesn't even know what Wendy's talking about.
Don't worry about it. It'll be sweet by next weekend. Honestly, we'll absolutely be fine. And most people know that I only channel what's actually required for Soul School literally just before. But so the theme, I'm not going to say the theme because it's probably going to change, but really what we're going to be looping in is how trauma really makes us step out of our natural energy. So for example, Wendy and I were speaking before we came on, And we're both very aware that for most part of our life, we've been very heavy living in the masculine energy. And so, of course, what we do now is we find it easy to go in the masculine energy. So sometimes we attract weak people that are in their feminine energy to complement the fact that we're in our, but actually neither of us want that. So it's very important that we talk about these subjects. So Wendy's going to be looking at very much the trauma side of things, because she's amazing at looking at trauma. She's amazing at, raising all of that into consciousness and looking at kind of the mental side of things, I guess, the much more heady.
I like that actually. Now it's all coming back now. I like that because that's the subjects I've not actually discussed. The trauma behind why you step out of feminine, the protective nature of it, and how it benefits you or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it does benefit you in some ways, but then you can find it very, very detrimental later on in life.
All of the reminders coming back online for us, my babe.
They are. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that.
Good, I'm pleased, because you do look happy about it. Now you've remembered, you're like, oh yeah, I like that. So
yeah, new subject matter. We should have discussed that, Liz, before we went on the video, really.
No, it's much better to just wing it and just be real. And there's nothing.
Yeah.
And that's why I love you coming to Soul School, is because you are so real, you are so raw, you are so authentic. And for me personally, it's not the case for everybody, but for me personally, I have to have authentic people in and around me, particularly in my personal life, like my inner circle, which obviously you are part of, but that in business. And at the end of the day, Soul School is business. Whether we, yes, it's a conscious community. Yes, it's about guidance, and yes, it's divinity and all the rest of it. But it's a business at the end of the day. And I truly believe when you work with people in business that you've got to have that alignment. You've got to be, authentic with the people that you're with. And actually, I don't know why, but I feel drawn to share this little story. Hope you sit comfortably. So I actually watched this video. I can't remember the name of the guy, but he's an amazing guy. He's a multi-billionaire. He's very, very young. He's about 35 years of age, and he has made multi-billions, like I say. And I heard him say this one day, and it really pricked my ears up. And he said he went to a business meeting, or he was speaking to somebody that was going to a business meeting. And when he turned up to this business meeting, they were talking about their families. And he actually realized that the guy had cheated on his wife. And instantly, although it was a multi-billion deal that he was about to sign, he pulled out of it. He said, no, I can't work with this person, because why on earth? That's him.
Luke Belmar.
Yeah, I love him. He's just the best. And he, when he was speaking about it, it was ringing alarm bells in my head. And I think this is why I am so rigid about who I have around me, because that resonated with me on such a deep level. And I was like, you know what? You're right. If somebody is willing to screw over the person they committed to marrying, the person they go to bed with at night, they're going to screw you over.
Yeah, what's going to happen in the business? Yeah. It's the moral compass, they call it, don't they? The moral compass, yeah.
And that for me was a game-changing moment. I only want to be around people that are so authentic. You know where you stand with them, and you know that they are going to stick to the standards and the values that have been implemented,
Yeah.
I loved it. It made me cringe at the time I heard it. I was like, oh, that's really uncomfortable. You've just missed out on like 100 billion or 100 million or something. Made me feel uncomfortable. And then I was like, no, good for you. How honest and how real and how authentic and how standing in your values actually.
And that's a pattern, isn't it? It's what I always think is a universal ordering pattern. So if you'd have done business with that person, or he'd have done business with that person, then the next person that comes in would have been on the same moral standard. That is, anything you do, this applies to all of life, doesn't it? So anything you do in life, if you're accepting a lesser version than what you want, you're saying to the universe, that's acceptable for me. Bring me more.
Exactly.
Because it only ever says yes to you, doesn't it? This, and the universe will only ever say yes. And if you go, yes, that's acceptable, let go, fine, I'll just bring you more of that in. So you can transform your life overnight by just changing how you decide to show up and do business. Exactly. With the moral codes and standards you put around things.
Exactly. I don't even know why I felt drawn to share that, but it was just constant. His face was just constant in my mind's eye. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll share that story, because actually, if we can implement that in every area of our life, imagine how perfect for each individual our lives would be, because we're getting the standards that we believe. We're in our own values, we're in our own belief systems. And my perfect wouldn't be perfect for you. Absolutely not, because you know, but it would be resonant for where we're at with ourselves, which is beautiful.
And it makes life so funny enough. I've had these conversations today. I've been talking about maps of reality today. And it's like you say, what you want isn't going to be the same as what I want. And the thing is with life, we end up with so much conflict because we view everybody through our lens as well, not being able to view their map of reality. Everybody has their own makeup, their own programming, their own environmental experiences that they've had that have made them who they are. And if you really want to get value out of other people, you need to take yourself out of the equation and look at that map and go, is that map of reality what I want in my environment?
Exactly.
What's going on in there? How did they get to that space? And is that something I want in my environment? And if not, it's not a bad thing. It just means you move on and find a map of reality that does suit.
Work with
so
you.
like you say, so you can start aligning on all levels and start building what you want.
Exactly. And it's funny because I was talking about it from this angle earlier today. I was like, I could be sat next to, and I was talking to somebody and I was like, so you could be sat next to me right now looking at exactly the same thing. And based on our experiences and our stories, we would be viewing it exactly the same thing in two different ways.
100%.
And this is how we must recognize that everybody, I could have an argument with you, Wendy, and not that we ever would, but me and you could have an argument, right? And we would have two totally different stories. Because you would be viewing it from your trauma and your perception, and I would be viewing it from my trauma and my perception.
Yeah.
And it's only when one of you or both of you can step out of it and go, actually, this is the fundamental truth of what happened. And actually, your reaction was okay because I did this or I did that or whatever. And then you can come back together and actually be like, right, we're now seeing the same bloody thing. But we get so stubborn, don't we, in our beliefs, and we're like, no.
Yeah, stuck in your own system.
Exactly, because of our
Everybody else,
our traumas.
yeah, just expecting everybody else to do B, C, and say exactly what we're going to. And the thing is, reality doesn't work like that because we all are very unique beings. And to create more cohesive relationships and sift and sort, you've got to be able to put yours over there and go, actually, tell me about that. Your reaction to me is very interesting. Tell me about that, where that comes from. How did you come to that conclusion on the inside of you? You know, where does that come from? I like to know, like, how people, I'll go into their family history. How were you brought up? How were your parents bring you up? You know, were you taught to simple things? I know we're going off tangent.
I love it. I love it.
It's something as simple as this. So certain sayings that you have within the family and certain things that you're taught to do. So we were taught children are seen and not heard when we were kids. So we were always really quiet and well behaved when we were out anywhere. But as an adult, it's caused me a few problems because when I want to leave a conversation because I'm running late, I've been told not to interrupt people. So I'll stand there patiently while someone's talking on a continual loop and not breathing, thinking they'll stop in a minute and I'll be able to say, I've got to go. Do you know what I mean? So I might end up late for something because of my social programming, which is you don't interrupt someone. The other one, don't speak with your mouth full. So for me, I've been brought up that you do not speak when you've got food in your mouth. You go, wait 1 second, and you chew, chew, chew. But some other people will just be chomping away with food going everywhere.
I've learned to do this living in Spain. Because that's what they do over here. So because I would normally wait, I'd chew my food and then swallow it and then speak, but that could be bloody ages depending on what's in my mouth. But in Spain they do this. So they talk and they'll finish chewing, but they'll just cover their mouth so you can't see the food.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? It's all these social things that we have that are differences.
Yeah.
But like you say, though, we just go, oh, I wouldn't do that. Well, no, of course you wouldn't. It's not your map of reality.
Exactly.
But if you want to have better relationships and, you know, you want to build business, maybe that person isn't someone that, you know, when you look at them, you judge them, but they've got amazing skills and values and that. So you've got to get your own stuff out the way sometimes, haven't you? So you can get into someone else's and go, actually, all the stuff I'm hearing through my head, like shut your mouth when you're eating and, you know, stop interrupting me when you're talking, and then get into their map, and then you can create better relationships. I find it quite fascinating.
Do you know what? I've got two things. One of them probably we should talk about off air, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. When the heck are you coming to Spain? And the second thing, we've been talking about that since bloody April of last year.
Where's it gone?
I haven't been.
Yeah.
Katie wants to come as well, so maybe we should have a girls' trip. And the other thing, like I'm kind of between sun and shade right now, aren't I? So the other thing I was gonna say, which is much more aligned to this video, is Wendy, I really think that you and I should be on stage talking about this together. I reckon we could have such an amazing conscious conversation for people in the room, talking about these different perceptions and like I think it could be a game-changing conversation, don't you?
I do. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Put us in a room full of corporates. Like I just keep, seeing us on JP Morgan stage or something in their conference suite. And like, we're just, or, I can't even remember what they call it, but their conference.
Blowing apart their maps of reality, I call it. That's what I love to do. Just when, like today, just working with these special educational need parents, just getting them to, I just said today's about self-awareness and communication. That's it. You're going to know about you. We're not really going to talk about your kids. I'm going to teach you about you. And when you start breaking it down, how did you get to this point? I always refer to it as like apps on your phone. Between 0 and 7, everyone gives you an app. And then 8, 9, 10, you open it, start pressing them down. This is my I'm a stupid person app. This is my I'm lovely app. This is my how I do racism or discrimination or money or relationships or whatever. And I said, like, let's have a look at your early programming. And it was really funny that every single person in the room was like, you could see their eyes open going, oh, blimey, I use the same sentence that my mum uses all the time. Yeah. I get my kids to do the same things that I was taught to do, where realistically, I would prefer not to. Like the feeding, you must eat breakfast, lunch and dinner. That came in through marketing campaigns. So they could sell more cereal and, go to work on an egg and all that sort of thing to help out the chicken farming industry. It's just when you know all this stuff and you go, we're just socially programmed. But until we become aware of our social programs, you can never start developing the creative you, beautiful you, unique you that you are. You're just stuck in that software system, operating system, running the same old stuff that everybody else gave you. They gave you your apps and you're still running them.
Exactly. I just love it. I absolutely love doing videos with you, Wendy. I love, obviously, you're a dear friend of mine and I love you to pieces in that sense as well. But I just love it when we get together and we do these conversations. And I know Soul School is going to be an absolute game changer again because you really do bring it to the party. And I will actually send you when you're going to be speaking as well. I don't know if I've told you that before now, but I'm going to tell you.
Rough subject matter, which I now know what I'm speaking about. But I did know, ladies and gentlemen, I did know, honestly.
Life has been quite intense and I've been away. I was away for 5 weeks and I know we probably spoke a week or two before I went away.
Yeah.
So, we'll let you off, babe. We'll let you off. And we spoke about lots of things before we came on air, but not that.
Not that, no, that's it, yeah. But,
absolutely.
So I'll cover any subjects you want, Liz. You just give me, if you change it on the day and just go talk about this instead, I'll go, yeah, fine.
Perfect. Well, I just feel that because obviously we start the day at Soul School with some pretty heavy shifting, and I mean this Soul School is going to start very differently, ladies and gents, just so that you're aware. I'll fill you in offline, Wendy, but it is going to start very, very differently. So but we at the end of the day we have to start by lifting the baggage of the people, and Wendy does such a good job of lifting the baggage. Like you and I have helped each other out privately and over the years, and we will continue to do so because we do have shitstorms hit our lives from time to time, don't we? Like you were saying with your parents, the rest of it, this is what we're here for. Like we cannot do this on our own. So when we get together at Soul School, it's very much about how can we bring people's stuff to the surface so then they have the consciousness that actually they don't need to cope, they don't need to be in this fight or flight mode. Like we've got their back. So and Wendy does that so well.
Yeah, it's a nice space as well for them to be able to release because you've got quite a lot of energy controllers and healers in the room, so you can help shift it. It's just lovely, isn't it? Because you can bring it up and get it shifted quite quickly. It's just being aware of it, isn't it? It's like anything in life, Luce. You can't move something until you know about it.
It is the most beautiful, and of course I'm going to be biased because it's my baby, but I have never been to an event where there have been as many people that can help you shift things just like that. Like I've been to Tony Robbins, I've been to Joe Dispenza, I've been to lots of different things over the years, all sorts of different things all over the world, and I've never been to a space like what we are able to create at Soul School. So it's not too late, ladies and gents. If you do want to jump in and get some tickets and come along, then please do that, and we will see you in Bristol next weekend. Any parting words for this video, beautiful?
Just this is just one list has been following me all week for some reason. Just go easy on yourselves and give yourselves a bit of love.
Love that.
That's it. Just go easy on yourselves. Give yourselves a bit of love. You're doing well because you're still breathing.
Exactly. I love that, Wendy, and I love you so much. Thank you for doing this video. And I know I'm going to be seeing you in the morning again. Love it. Ladies and gents, please give it up in the comments for Wendy. We appreciate you so much. And for those of you coming to Soul School, buckle up and buckle in because we're coming to get you. See you next week, guys.